Research has shown, your second speaker mentioned global warming and how it can be alleviated. Research has shown that this can only be done if all players on the international stage play their part. Some critics believe that it is already too late. So like the second speaker's argument, anyway, how can be resolved that we are going to hear that material? How we are approaching the proposition argument from a sociological point of view. I have heard parents, grandparents, and the like state that they long for the halcyon days that existed when they were children. The world has changed, yes, but for the better, we think not. Our conscious knowledge of ancestral history evades contemporary youth. We're more interested in discovering the quickest and easiest ways to get rich, as opposed to the maintenance of the deep-seated values of our forefathers. The cultural traditions that kept our families together in the past is absent from our familial structure in contemporary society, which inevitably leads to a path of destruction. Let me show you how this generation and its departure from traditional values, taking on liberalism in the worst forms, is cause for concern. Generation Y, a growing cohort of as much as 70 million legal professionals, has become the leading influence in how the world is shaped and being shaped. Generation Y grew up with technology and rely on it to execute their jobs better. With all the devices that are at our disposal, what with Blackberries, laptops, and other gadgets, technology has become our lifeline. By doing this, we are not only opening up ourselves to a series of dangerous medical and sociological conditions, but a society in which we cannot function without these devices. We will become inherently illiterate, innumerate, and based on your arguments, my opponents, illogical. The external stimuli provided by modern technology have arguably affected our attention span accepted.
My opponents, according to a computer scientist, Bernard Winch, every time our ability to access information and communicate it to others is improved, we have in some sense achieved an increase of our national intelligence. So your point about laptops and those other communicative technologies.
I take your point, but as you will see as I continue to read, the more that which we are doing this is unhealthy. The external stimuli provided by modern technology have already affected the attention span of Generation Y. A survey by the Kaiser Family Foundation found that 2 out of 5 children watch television every day. In 2004, Pediatrics magazine published an important study that suggested frequent television watching was likely to produce impulsive and restless behavior. In an interview with USA Today, UCLA's neuropsychologist Elizabeth So said, human brains change rapidly in early life, and animal research shows that stimulation can rewire the brain. Television shows and movies both have a rapid storytelling pace, so brains may grow accustomed to this constant bombardment of change. If there is less stimulation, it becomes harder to concentrate. Old-fashioned fun that might have concentration, like reading, has fallen to the wayside with iPods and Facebook taking over. In a piece entitled Understanding Generation Y, accepted by Sophia Fian in the Organization Accepted, she states that Generation Y will become identified with cynicism, skepticism, and pessimism in comparison to other generations. Accepted.
My point, doesn't technology make it readily available for us to read more? Aren't we groomed in much more information around the world? Isn't information readily available to us through technology? So how can you say that technology has limited our reading?
I am not saying that technology has limited our reading, my point. It's just effect of technology on the computer is not helpful.
You said that technology...
That's enough, my point. Thank you. In a piece entitled Understanding Generation Y by Sophia Yan in the Oberlin Review, she states that Generation Y will become identified with cynicism, skepticism, and pessimism in comparison to other generations. One reason to which she attributes her findings is a high rate of drug abuse, which is seen to increase in the future. She makes reference to a newsletter published by the National Association of Women Law Enforcement Executive stating, and I quote, antidepressants, prescription, medication, and other behavior-altering drugs, such as Ritalin, makes Generation Y the most medicated generation in history. I will leave you with this way about it. Members of Generation Y are characterized as being more racially and culturally tolerant than past generations. Gay rights and non-traditional gender roles have also become more widely accepted. Marriage is no longer reserved for a man and a woman. We now have households in which it is a man as a housewife, or even both in the workplace, leaving the child at home. What do you think has done to the children in that home? If it is that we are already accepting, promoting, and indulging in these deviations, what happens next? Legalizing bestiality, incest even, where is our moral compass, our respect is?
I should be standing. Why am I sitting down? What?
This move right from the onset offer you as the mean, but after one begins to reason of this mood in question, its veracious nature can be noted. Judges, almost worthy opponents, colleagues, bid you a good afternoon. Today, I will postulate from a socio-political standpoint, as a whole, we can effectively solve problems as a human race, therefore making us have more to cheer than to fear, almost worthy opponents. This has been a common feature, not accepted. This has been a common feature in our existence. Most problems that arise in society, steps are taken to mitigate or completely extricate the issue. Firstly, from a sociological standpoint, a functionalist view of society would assert that a little dysfunction is okay in society. It keeps society balanced, which is, by the way, most worthy opponents, a positive implication, not accepted. Of course, we are not gladdened by dysfunctions, but they are by no means overbearing. And human beings have always found a way out. We have always found a way to share. We have always found a way to solve our issues. Therefore, we have more to cheer than to fear. And secondly, let us take a look in history, not accepted, almost worthy opponents. During the pre-1600s, the monarchs exerted tyrannous powers and full hegemony over her empire. They ruled purely from a divine right standpoint. Accepted.
No. Speaker, you keep saying, you keep bringing up this whole notion of problem solving. Let me remind you that we're not here to solve problems, we're here to save the debate, that we have more to fear than to cheer.
But my most worthy opponents, we are stating that because of our ability to solve problems, because of our ability to find a way out from these issues that we face, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Moving right along. King Louis of France was even quoted as stating, "It is law because I wished it." Such a notion was becoming dysfunctional to society. And therefore, the political framework had to change, which led to the period of enlightenment, with its various manifestations, such as the division of political power into the judiciary, legislature, and executive, and also the development of accountability among political figures. Politicians are now servants of the people and not only tyrannous despots. Rousseau asserted that power belonged to the people who invested the power in elected representatives to enable collective rule, which is known in modern societies as the social contract. And we can go further in history. In the 15th century, when the discovery of the West Indies was made by Christopher Columbus, Spain and Portugal were going into an almost conflict over the Spanish claim over all of the West Indies, or all of the New World. Pope Alexander, who basically served as the international mediator, allowed the two sides to come to an agreement. I know that my opponents might argue that this instigated European rivalry, but my opponents, that was to eventually resolve. And to this day, monarchs live in harmony. Now, for a more modern example, in the mid-20th century, the world was at war for the second time. World powers, after seeing how destructive wars were, found a way out. They developed the United Nations as a means to resolve conflict diplomatically. This same organization has broadened its scope, modus operandi, as you may call it, to combat all the various socio-political and economic ills of society, and has made tremendous progress in that regard, my most worthy opponents. And on this note at the end, there is nothing to fear but fear itself, as stated by my first speaker. Quoted